Well, hello, freedom seekers. I am back again with another journal report. Now, I make these journals once or twice a week, and they're just to kind of let you know what it is that I'm working on. And I use them in three different places. I use them on my YouTube channel, at the Freedom Seekers YouTube channel, and I also use them to post in my Facebook page, and I also put them in my Coach Ollie's group. And that is something that he's really encouraged us to do in his group is to make a journal video report and let people know the things that we're working on. And it's a way that you can kind of follow along me making my own progress in liberating my life. And as I talk about for 26 weeks in a row on my Monday night video reports, I do live on my YouTube channel where Freedom Seekers. Then on that report every Monday night, I talk about then how I'm liberating my life because I want to help you to liberate your life. And for me, that means that I'm liberating my life in the financial area. I want to have financial liberation that I do not have now. And years ago, I started out my journey on liberation working on my sexual liberation and then moved on. Once I became sexually liberated, I worked on my liberation of my health and wellness. And so now I'm at my financial liberation. And it's been a journey of about um, well over 15 years now. And so these journeys take some time. Well, I want to go ahead and get started with some announcements real quick here. And that is that I last week made two new YouTube channels. And so I'm going to go ahead and in the description put a link to all three of my YouTube channels just so that if you want to check any of them out, you can. My existing channel that I've had running for a couple of years now is the Freedom Seekers YouTube channel. You can check that out if you're not watching this video on that channel. But then also, my coach, he has a program that he's going to be launching, allowing people. There was about 200 of us that kind of got in on. He opened the door to have a sneak preview of it, and he is going to take and be launching that. And he has had tremendous success online. So Coach Ali, he has this platform that he has created that is everything that you would possibly need. Has all the tools, the trainings, the coaching programs, all the programs you need. And and I pay $47 a month, I think, for it, which is a ridiculously small price because I have paid thousands of dollars for coaching that wasn't nearly as good as Coach Ali is providing in this program. But it's just something that he has a heart to do. After he's made a lot of money, he's been involved in online marketing and making his money online since 2000, I believe, 12, and has made a lot of money. And so he's now given back. And so I created a YouTube channel called Launch My Empire Reviews, and that I'll be doing some reviews of his platform on that channel. Now, that channel has not been developed yet. It's created, it's there. I'm slowly getting it developed. And then I have another channel which is called Launch My Empire. And on that channel, I'm actually going to be doing some trainings, where to get started and how to get started and how to walk your way through and how to utilize the program, how to not to become so overwhelmed with it and how to utilize some of the software that he has in there included for free that I have paid a lot of money over the years for. And so he includes it all for free so that you can take and get your complete financial liberated business where you're able to have an income online, start out and do it part-time and just work your way through. And so it's very exciting. So I've got these three YouTube channels that I'll go ahead and put links to in the description. Also down there, I'm going to put a link to my email list for my freedom seekers. And so I always try to provide a link for the Freedom Seekers email list. So go ahead and if you'd like to get on that, you can, or check it out as well. Now, want to make sure that you're keeping and writing this date down, November 27th. That's the Friday right after Thanksgiving, and have that down because I'm going to be soon releasing where a page on the internet where you can go and you can register and sign up for this free online workshop that my partner Kat and I are doing. And the workshop, if you can't make it during the specific time that we're going to be giving it, then it'll be recorded. And so we'll be happy to send out a recording to you and so you can benefit from this workshop that we're going to be doing. It'll be about a 90-minute workshop, and we're going to be talking about how to design and create an elf life that you love the most. Now, an elf life is an easy and a liberated and a fun life, and we're going to be talking about how to design and create it so you can be working on designing and creating your elf life. Now, I've been working on a book series, and I'm going to go ahead and put the link down for the first manuscript that I've completed there in the description as well. Now, it's a book series. I started out on that. Ollie, my coach, he just encouraged me to write one, but I had so much content and material that was flowing from me, and that I decided I really can't. It's got to be broken up. And so I'm actually got now three books, and the first and two are pretty complete. On the manuscripts, I'm then going to be working on completing and finishing out the third one. And the second one is not quite complete, but almost. But I want your feedback on the first manuscript that I have completed. So the series is going to be called "How 7 Years of Online Failure Turned to Success." And then I've been chipping away at this whole thing online for 7 years. And I've learned a lot in my 7 years, and I want to share that information and knowledge with my audience. And so the first book is called The Road of Life. And the road of life is a road that we get in our cars and we drive down. And the idea is that we're going to just take this drive, and we're going to be then stopping at a river. The river has a raft in it. We can get in the raft and go down the raft, go down the river, just flowing along on that raft. And when we reach the end, then we're either going to have the life of our dreams or we're not. And so there are many rivers on the road of life. And so the book that I've written on book number one, the manuscript that I've completed now, it kind of is the roadmap to help you to stop at the right river and get in the right boat. Because otherwise, like I have found, is that there's a lot of rivers out there, and you can get in a lot of those rivers and they don't take you anywhere you want to go. And I've been many times and many places in my life, ended up getting places that I didn't want to go. And so the book one is called The Road of Life, and it'll get you to the river that you want to be on. And then the second book is The River of Life. And once you get in that raft, then there's going to be a lot of scary times and some beautiful, wonderful times and a lot of challenges and obstacles along the way. And so book number two will help you to navigate that river as quickly, as successfully as you can to get to the end, because the end then is the journey that you're really wanting. So, like for instance, I'm going to be talking about my overriding desires in a moment. My transitioning so that I have financial liberation, transitioning my life is all about then creating an income for myself. And so that's then the river that I'm on right now. And then book number three is Living Your Elf Life. And that's a life that is easy, liberated, and fun. Yes, that's a life that I'm living right now. And I want to help make sure that you have the tools that you need to live that life as well. So that'll be coming in book three. Now, people ask me about, what is ECNM? Because I talk about my ECNM life. And so they'll ask, well, what is ECNM? What's it mean? And my partner, Kat, and I, we created a video about the meaning of ECNM a couple years ago. And so I'm putting a link to that down there in the description as well if you want to know more about the meaning of ECNM. Okay, so now let's go ahead and, as I like to do in making these journals, is I like to not only just kind of tell you what I'm doing, but I like to have it to be a little more health and usefulness to you. And so I do a little bit of sharing about some things that I've learned along the way. And one of the things that I've learned here this past year is how important structure is. And that structure means that we need to have a system that we're following that works for you to be able to take and get where you're going. And so for me, then the structure of, I go through every single day is just what we're doing right now. Is I have this, I start out with saying, okay, I want to, every day I live the magnetic ECNM elf life that I love the most, designing and creating more in abundance in liberation, satisfaction, and pleasure. Now, with liberation, I have sexual and relationships liberation. I have liberation for meaningful work and wealth, and liberation for health and wellness. Now, of those three areas, then there's really only one area you only want to focus on one area at a time. And there's only one area that I really need to focus a lot on liberating. That is my financial liberation. So I focus on meaningful work and wealth at this point. Now, then I will say, okay, well, satisfaction then how am I going to end up having more abundance and satisfaction? What am I going to design and create today that's going to add to my satisfaction? And again, the same three areas. And so most of what I'm working on right now is my financial liberation. And then the last thing is pleasure. What am I wanting to design and create more abundance in? How am I today going to have more abundance in the area of pleasure? And again, the same three areas: sex and relationship, meaningful work and wealth, and health and wellness, because all of these areas bring you more pleasure or more displeasure. And so every day I'm focused on that. And that helps me to then live the magnetic ECNM life that I love the most. And so from there, I then take and keep in mind my overriding desire. And now as I recommend, and as I do my videos on Monday nights on my live stream, I do it on YouTube for about an hour every Monday night. Then I talk about your overriding desire. And you only want one or two. I happen to have three because my partner, Kat, she is right there with me working on these overriding desires with me as well. And so that way I can have three to work on, and that she's working side by side with me on them. And so the first area then for me is my financial liberation. And my overriding desire is to have $5,000 per month in sustainable passive online income in my pockets from 5 e-commerce sites that I'm creating. And so that's the thing that I'm my overriding desire. And your overriding desires is something that should be able to be accomplished and achieved within 12 months. And they fit in with your longer term desires and where you're wanting to go in your life as well. So then overriding desire number two for me is to have the ELF Online Academy with 500 free members and 100 paid members. And that Kat and I are launching the ELF Academy. It's an academy online and helps people to live an easy, a liberated, and a fun life. And then the third is for me is to have my ECNM done for you financial liberation with benefits club. And I want to have 500 free members and 100 joint venture partners in that club. And so this is a club that I'm creating online as we have a done for you program. And that is where I'll be hiring a team of people in the Philippines that I manage and supervise and train so that they create these sustainable incomes, but they're done for you. Yes, you still need to take and do some things as well, and that'll take, and I guide you in that, so that'll take you a couple hours every week. This way, you can start it totally part time, and through the people that I work with in the Philippines. Then, so for instance, like what I'm doing with my e-commerce stores, and that I'm going to have them create the e-commerce stores, and then it's done for me. And so that I'll be able to then turn around and offer that same opportunity for you, where they can create e-commerce stores for you. So it's done for you, and it doesn't take a lot of your time. So it's something that's very doable for you to create your own financial liberation, just as I am. And so my overriding desire is that with this club, that by 500 free members and 100 joint venture partners. Now then, after I've gone through that, then I look at, okay, my quarterly, every quarter, and right now we're in quarter four of 2020. And so that started on October 1st and then goes through December 31st. And so then during that quarter, what is it that I want to work on? What is it I want to accomplish and achieve? And there are three goals that I set then. And so with these three goals then is I want to take and hire a virtual assistant in the Philippines and be able to start working with them and creating these online stores. And so that's a goal then I have for this quarter. Another is to master website and funnel making. And this is an important part to be able to take and build an online business, is that you can put at any time, it shouldn't take a long time, just throwing up a website online or throwing up a funnel. But that's not something that I really have done. And earlier, I used to say about myself that I'm not a technical person. And I caught myself and realized that the reason I'm not a technical person is because I keep telling myself that. I put my energy to point it in the direction of I'm not a technical person. But can you imagine that baby? There, that baby is laying on the floor and looking up and seeing all these people walking around, and that baby just keeps telling itself, "Well, I'm not someone who walks around." No, that's not me. I'm not someone who walks around. That baby would never get up on its feet, fall down, maybe even hurt its nose a little bit and elbows a little bit. The baby would never learn to walk, not even to think about running. But no, the baby doesn't lay there on the floor saying, "Oh, that's just not me. I'm not somebody who can do that." And yet sometimes we become adults and we forget these things. We forget that we are capable, so capable of learning so much more and being so much more and doing so much more than what we are. And I don't want to be who I am right now. I don't want that to define me and determine who I'm going to be tomorrow. Just like then my income, the income that I make right now, I don't want that to define me. And so you don't have to either. And there's a process that we go through. And part of that process for me is then learning how to master website and funnel making. Yes, in the future, I'll be turning that over to the team that I create and build in the Philippines. So there'll be somebody that takes and does that. But I want to have a good understanding of it. And so that's one of the goals that I have for this quarter. And then the last goal then is to make $1,000 online. Now, making $1,000 online, and so for me, my plan then is to have 5 e-commerce stores, and then the other thing is then through LME, and if I become an affiliate with LME. Now, LME is a platform that my coach, Ollie, he's created. And it's this fabulous platform. And so I've become an affiliate. And he's going to be launching that very soon. And I want to actually help him to launch that. And by telling other people about it, because I really think that anybody who would really love to live a financially liberated life, and anybody who would love to just make some extra money, anybody who would love to be able to do that from anywhere they have an internet connection and a laptop or a computer hooked up to it, and even oftentimes your smartphone, then anybody who wants to be able to take and get out of the rat race and get away from the situation where they are responding to life, because that's what they're told to do. I mean, okay, nobody's working in the offices now, or you all got to go home. You're going to be unemployed now. All these kinds of things, and so I think that a really great solution for people is to learn to create your own income and financially liberate yourself, just as I am. And so one of the things then that I am doing is I'm becoming an affiliate for Ollie's program, and where then it's like I think his program is for he'll give you for $1 that he'll give you a free trial or a $1 trial on it, so you can kind of check it out without having to risk anything more, and even your dollar is refundable. But then after your trial ends, I think it's $47 a month or something like that. And even that, he has a 100% money back guarantee on that too. And so $47 a month, he has everything there that somebody needs. He's got ebooks in there that teach you anything you want to learn, and he works on your developing your mindset, because again, you can't be the same person today with the same mind you have today if you want to take and change into being someone who is able to make your money online. He's got tools, software, and programs and different things so that it's everything you need for you to be able to get to be making as much as $10,000 a month online is already there. You don't need anything else. And so anyway, he's going to be launching that program, and I've become an affiliate, and I'm going to get a commission. It means that, for instance, if you go ahead and sign up for the $47, then I'm going to get $23.50 of that. And so I'm going to become an affiliate of him on that. And so those are my goals then for the fourth quarter. And so then I come down then to the month. And so here we are now in November, and I have 4 goals in the month of November. And so one goal is I want to make $1,000 this month. I've never made a dollar online, and so then this month I want to make $1,000, and so that's one of my goals. And then another goal is I want to get my magnetic mind certification. Now, as many of you know, this is a program that I've been working on for the past 12 months. And I started a program last December, It was a 12-month program. She raced ahead a little bit, and she's already gotten her certification. And I'm going to get my certification. The 12 months is getting close to being up here, and so we've had a lot of stuff to study and to learn. And so now I'm getting ready to brush up on all that material and take my certification test. Kat passed hers the first time through. A lot of people don't. They have to end up taking it 2 or 3 times before they pass it. And so who knows when I go to take it, whether I'll pass it the first time or not. But I'm wanting to get that test, at least the first time taking it, and I want to get my magnetic mind certification done. And so then the other thing is that I want to launch my LME affiliate program. And so those are the 3 things that I'm working on here in November. And then after I take, and of course I don't write them out every time, but I wanted to just kind of go through this process with you because this is the structure that you can use for yourself as well. And I hope that you will adopt a good solid structure for yourself. And so then I come down to the week, this week, then what am I working on this week? And that's where we make these updated journals for you to let you know what I'm working on. And so this week I'm working on some bookkeeping. And that I really haven't done a lot of bookkeeping this year, and I'm way behind. And I'm also making some changes, and so I need to get my bookkeeping all under squared away and caught up. And so there's a lot involved there. I used to have bookkeepers and hired all that out, and it's something I'll hire out again in the future. But for right now, I'm the bookkeeping keeper, and so I need to take and get caught up on that. 10 months worth at this point, and so I need to get my bookkeeping done. And I've been working on that this week and come a long ways on it. I'm not quite done with it yet, but I'm hoping to be done by the end of the week. And then my computer needs to be shut down. This is just a really bad habit that I have. I'll be working along throughout my day, and I'll be a lot of times then just putting some notes and things on documents. So I may have 5 documents opened up that I've not saved any of them, and I may have 5 more documents that were already stored in my computer that I opened up. So now I've got 10 documents open. And at the end of the day, then I don't close them, and at the end of the day, I just shut the lid on my laptop computer, and that's it for the day then. And I just don't want to take the time because it'll take some time. It takes half hour to an hour just to get everything closed out. And the same thing with my Chrome tabs. I'll have 5 to 10 Chrome tabs that are open as well. And then I'll just shut the computer down and thinking, okay, I'll get back. I'll do it the next day. But the next day I get up and I'm ready to go to the races, and I'm off and running. And so all over again, I may then open 5 more documents, and I may open, and create 5 new documents where, I don't save them at all. They're just sitting there unsaved on my computer. I may open 5 more tabs in Chrome, and this thing just builds up. My computer now hasn't been shut down for over 4 months, and it's complaining. And so I need to go ahead and get that under control. So I'm creating good habits and shutting everything down every day. And so this week I've been working at going through all those documents and making sure that when I save the information and create and save the documents, or I copy and paste them into another document, make sure all that stuff's not going to get lost. And that I also then don't forget about it somewhere, because it's easy to create a document and store information away somewhere. And so I have a system where then to make sure that if there are things that I'm working on, that I stay on top of things. And in the past, that's why I've left documents open, because I was working on it, but then I need to create a better habit than to just keep leaving things open and keep opening new things and never completing, never finishing. And so that's a process that I'm working on. And so this week I've been working on getting all those tabs and those documents shut down, closed down just about all my documents, and I've got about half the Chrome tabs that are shut down as well. And so I'll be continuing to work on that the next couple of days. And the last thing then is then for this week is to get my ebook formatted. And then I purchased a program in November of 2018 in order to be able to create ebooks. But then I never used it. And so now I'm going to go back and learn how to use it and it'll do all the formatting for me. It's one of these things. It's kind of like when I was in Seattle a couple months ago with Chris. I took and I made an Alfredo. Many of you know that I 95% of the time eat a whole food plant-based diet, and so I made an Alfredo sauce instead of using cream and dairy and things like that because I avoid animal products. And so instead, I used cashews, and oh my gosh, it turned out great. It took me about an hour the first time I made it, and then I made it a second time while I was there with Chris, and it only took me about a half hour to make it the second time. And so I told Kat here when I got back to Ventura. I told Kat about it, and so we went ahead and made it here, and we've made it now twice here. So I've made the recipe 4 times, and over the last 3 months, and now I can make that recipe in about 15 minutes time. And so that's the way it is then when we learn new things, is that they start out, it takes us a while, but after you've done it a few times, then it's kind of like you've got it down pat. And so that's how I want to get then with like my ebook formatting. So then I can take and crank out ebooks very quickly and format them. But also then this software is amazing software. Actually, it's a software program that Ollie and his brother created, and and I think made over $1 million on selling it. And I bought it from him back in November of 2018 and just never did anything with it. And but it allows me to go out into the internet and get information off the internet, and it'll grab that information for me, and it'll kind of then help me to spin it into an ebook so that I can launch and release an ebook on a topic that I may be wanting to release an ebook on. And so anyway, I want to get to using my ebook that I now have the manuscript written for, and learn how to use this software and formatting it. So there you have it. That's my 3 objectives, the 3 things I'm working on this week. Haven't started on the ebook formatting, been working on the other 2 items, but hopefully this before the week's over, I'll be getting to that as well. So that's what I'm working on. If you find the structure of the things that I'm using here helpful and useful to you, please borrow mine, steal it from me, use it for you, and so that you can keep your life moving forward, so that you can live an elf life, easy, liberated, and fun, and you can keep your life moving forward that way as well. And so if you like the video, give it a like and make a comment about it as well. I'd like to know what you think. And so thanks for viewing this with me right now, and we'll see you again on the next journal.